My next step is going to be to find the center of the bowl. I'm pretty good at eyeballing these things, so just for fun, I'm just going to draw a dot where I think it's going to be, but I'm going to double check it here. I'll just take a ruler and check it. The bowl is 9 inches across, and so I want to have 4.5 inches to the center in that direction, and 4.5 inches, if the bowl is round, from the other direction, 90 degrees to that. So let's see how we do. That first one came out right on the dot, and the second one is also just fine. So the dot that I put on there will work for my center line. That's it. That little center line is where we're going to use to mount our faceplate. And folks, there's a lot of ways that you can mount bowl blanks. A faceplate's kind of the old-fashioned way of doing it, and there's nothing wrong with that if you don't have something else. I really prefer a 4-jaw precision chuck. I have several of those that I use, and you could use a wormwood screw for this. But if you've never used don't have one of those, or you just have a faceplate, you can do it. I just take a faceplate. I'm taking a 5/8 inch brad point drill bit and putting it on my center spot. That's going to work as a center for me. And I'll just tap it in with a mallet and then screw it down into place. And I'm using just sheetrock screws here. There's not a whole lot of weight on this bowl, so it should be fine. If you had something much heavier or out of balance, you might want to go with something like a sheet metal screw and maybe something longer and heavier, but I think this will work out okay. And I just use 3 screws. I use the outside hole pattern. If you had a smaller bowl, you could use the inside hole pattern. You can also use a bigger faceplate here. A lot of ways to do this, as I said, but this is about as easy, and most people do have a faceplate. All right, let's take our drill bit out of there, and that's it. We should be ready to go ahead and mount this onto the lathe. One more quick thing, I have put a mark on the faceplate and on the bowl in case I need to remount it for some reason. And then the bowl just mounts like everything else on the Shopsmith with that single set screw on the tapered flat. Folks, one thing I do want to point out here, I'm using the universal tool rest that Shopsmith makes, and anybody that I know that is serious about turning on a Shopsmith, doing any kind of heavier bowl work, gets this universal tool rest. This is 35 pounds of cast iron. It bolts directly onto the faceplate. It's got a 3-point, it bolts directly onto the carriage. It's got a 3-point pivot system there, and it has a lot of movement in it, which allows me to get all the way around the outside of the bowl. It allows me to get very close to the inside of the bowl. I can get deep inside of bowls if I need to do that. To me, it's just a tremendous asset in my turning, and I like it. I recommend it if you're going to do much bowl work at all. To me, it's pretty essential. And folks, this is part 3 of how to turn a bowl on a Shopsmith Mark 7. I started off thinking I would only have 6 in this series, but it looks like it might run 9 or 10. I want to break them down into small bite-sized pieces. That's how I like to see things. And folks, if you're watching this on YouTube, please remember to hit the like button if you did like it. Comments are appreciated, and if you subscribe, you'll be notified when the new videos are available. Thanks again for watching. I'm Doug Reid. You can reach me at shopsmithdoug@gmail.com if I can help.